Good morning, Hope City, and welcome to your daily Devo today. We've been going through the book of James the last couple weeks, and this past Sunday we were talking about verses 13 through 27. And as Pastor Matt was talking, something stood out to me, and it kind of reminded me of something that Steve Stewart, when he taught, that he kind of touched on. So let's go through it real quick, and I'll share what stood out. So we're going to start at verse 13 and go to verse 15. So it says, "No one undergoing a trial should say, 'I am being tempted by God,' since God is not tempted by evil, and he himself doesn't tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when he is drawn away and enticed by his own evil desire. Then after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and when sin is fully grown, it gives birth to death." When Pastor Matt was talking about this specific section, it reminded me of when Steve taught and he was talking about the caged lion and how as a little baby you cage a lion and you just feed it every once in a while, but it continues to grow and grow and grow, and how that caged lion is just like our sin. And so what this is talking about is, but each person is tempted when he's drawn away and enticed by his own evil desires. So that evil desire is that sin, that little baby lion cub that we're holding on to. And it says, then after the desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And when sin is fully grown, it gives birth to death. And so you think of that example of the lion. If the baby cub is our sin and our evil desires, and we continue to just be enticed by it and feed it and grow it, it continues to grow and grow and grow and get bigger. And that's when, as fully grown, it says when sin is fully grown, this fully grown lion, it gives birth to death. And Steve gave the example of the moment you open that cage one day, that sin will be so big, that lion will be so big. One day you open the cage and it will devour you. And that's what we learn the enemy plans for us, is to devour us. And then as I'm thinking through this, I thought of another example that I heard a pastor talk about one time. He was counseling a man in his congregation who had had an affair. And so he was trying to counsel him through it. And he was like, all right, how did this start? How did you even get in this position? Let's try to find the root of it. And he's asking this man, where did it start? And the man goes, I know exactly where it started. It started one day I was at Jason's Deli. And the pastor's like, okay, did you meet her at Jason's Deli? And he's like, no, I was at Jason's Deli. I got a water cup and I put Dr. Pepper in it. And he's like, what? And he's like, what he realized in that moment, and he shared in his message, is it's the little compromises you make day to day that you grow. You're feeding that little sin, the little compromise of putting Dr. Pepper or soda in a water cup that he didn't pay for. It was a small compromise that he gave into sin, that sinful desire, and it continued to give birth to sin, which grew further and further. And he even said in his interview that it took him from that tiny little thing of soda in a water cup that he didn't pay for to meetings he shouldn't have been in, and decisions he was making, and places with other people he shouldn't have been, which led to this larger sin that grew and gave birth to death in his spiritual walk. And so my challenge to you today would be what to think of. What little lion cubs are you caging away, or what little compromises are you making? What little temptations that feel like maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe this is just something small. Maybe this isn't a big deal. What little things are you feeding into and allowing to grow into a bigger sin that will soon devour you? So that's my challenge for you to think of this week. As we continue to walk through James, I hope you'll join us again on Sunday as we go through the next section in James. And I hope you're enjoying this series. It's been great to be able to walk through and hear how we can live out our faith. So join us again tomorrow as you hear another Daily Devo. Have a great day.